Well, see, what I heard from James was, okay, that we seem to be in agreement on most things. Even on the things that are uncomfortable to the Commission, they also agree on those, i.e. process issues. He didn't mention this, but the implication I got also was that the Competition Commission is not anti-big business, i.e. large businesses, right? So of course, they want large businesses that behave well from a competition perspective. They don't like large businesses that abuse their dominance. That's the impression I got. However, he did raise the issue about large businesses that behave badly, even to frustrate the process. How do you engage with your members, if at all, around their behavior to encourage competition in our country?
You know, there's been a lot of interventions, necessary interventions. I think it happened, James, if I'm not mistaken, was it in the construction industry? It happened in, I don't know which other industry, where the Competition Commission had to intervene because they could actually see this anti-competitive behavior and deliberate interventions by big businesses to try and block entry into market by other smaller businesses, which is what we need. So I think you're absolutely right, Maurice. There is an agreement that you do need a competition, policy framework that works, that is robust, that seeks to actually address anti-competitiveness in the market. But I think it's actually a function of, probably I would lay it down to, there's going to have to be a pragmatic approach, probably, in as far as this is concerned, especially in as far as the M&A deals, James, are concerned, because to Adrian's point, you want to get investment into the country to be able to stimulate the economic growth, which we actually don't have at the moment. So the last thing we actually want in the land, if there is a protracted, therefore, process, that takes forever, investors do then tend to lose interest, as it were. But I think we also, from where I'm sitting, need to take the context of the environment within which we're operating in mind, to say that if we are, taking the amount of time that we're taking, and elsewhere, to Adrian's point, it actually takes a lesser amount and lesser time, it therefore doesn't serve us well, as it were. Leon raises a very important point to say that instead of blocking a measure, do you, as the Commission, probably maybe have, while ensuring that you observe, tick all the boxes that you actually need to tick, do you have an opportunity to say, this measure probably might introduce more concentration into the market, but it's going to create employment. It's going to create economic growth. It's actually going to create public interest. It's going to create transformation of the supply chain and probably maybe ignore the one aspect, of the fact that it increases competition rather than reduce it, when you still go with it anyway. So I really think that flexibility for me, Maurice, in an environment like ours, if we are very clear about what our true north is and what we want to achieve, in as far as competition is concerned, as investment is concerned, what we're trying to address in this country, I really think that there's going to have to be some institutional rigor and flexibility, of really looking at each case on its merits rather than just ticking the boxes and casting it out if it doesn't meet all the boxes, as it were.
So I'm going to give you a pass now because, one, you didn't answer my question. And two, you didn't give me a case study. This is your last pass. So
you wanted a case study. So the 2 case studies and the 3 years where I'm actually, the 3 years reference, Heineken and Distel.
Yes.
That took an extraordinary amount of time to conclude. It took almost 3 years. Vodacom Massive is almost going for 3 years. And when you actually talk to Massive and Vodacom right now, initial investment upon the conclusion of the deal of 60 million is not enough, whatever it is, that could have been already unleashed, into the environment, jobs that would have been created. Because remember, this is laying off fiber. Now that is actually not happening because, the Competition Commission is actually taking too long. But another interesting observation for me, Maurice, is that, it is interesting because we are on a path as a country of trying to open up industries and sectors that are currently monopolies. You're trying to bring in more competition. And I would have thought that that is the path that we are deciding, that we're actually moving towards as a country. So if you therefore see instances where the Competition Commission or our policy, doesn't seek to support that, it therefore becomes confusing.